It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 10 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some promotional images that they released for the upcoming episode of The Walking Dead, Season 10, Episode 20, the fourth bonus episode of Season 10, which is called Splinter. Stay tuned, we'll be right back to break these pictures down. Alright, as always, before we get into this, if you're not a subscriber and enjoy the content by the end, consider subscribing to join our community, share and smash the like button, and press the bell to be notified when we upload. So with that said, let's dive right into these pictures. So of course we know that this episode is going to pick up exactly from when Season 10 officially ended. So Season 10 Episode 16, particularly the very last moment of that episode when we had Yumiko, Eugene, King Ezekiel, and Princess being surrounded by these stormtroopers or these people in military uniform who are of course Commonwealth soldiers for non-comic readers. So this episode is gonna pick up exactly from there. So as per the pictures, it's gonna pick up exactly the moment when the group was surrounded by Commonwealth militia. So this first picture is this picture of Eugene, Yumiko, Princess, and Ezekiel as they're being surrounded by Commonwealth soldiers who are obviously pointing their guns at them. And then we have this shot of some Commonwealth soldiers taking Princess away, and then this shot of a couple of Commonwealth soldiers taking Princess away. It is interesting that there's so much focus on Princess because most of these images are actually pictures of Princess. We don't see a lot of pictures with Eugene or Ezekiel, and almost none with Yumiko, which is very, very interesting. Then we have this shot of Ezekiel. Of course, there's a Commonwealth soldier in the background. And then we have this shot of Eugene. Obviously, this is around the same time when they're first surrounded because we do see the train carts in the background. And then we have this shot of Princess on the floor of one of the train carts. This was actually in one of the teasers that they released where we had one of the soldiers actually pushing Princess inside the train cart, and then she hits her head on the wall and falls to the floor. That's taken from there. And then we have this shot of a Commonwealth soldier taking Princess out. So I'm assuming the previous picture is when they first put her in the train cart, and this one is when they come and grab her later on. I could obviously be wrong about that. Then we have this shot of Princess inside one of the train carts. Now, what I absolutely love, and this is something that I just kind of realized while looking at these pictures that they released, is how much of a parallel there is between what Yumiko, Princess, Eugene, and Ezekiel are going through and what our survivors went through at the end of Season 4/16, when they were put in a train cart by the termites at Terminus. So I love the imagery there, like how similar those two are visually. And also I do like the similar storyline. It's not the same, obviously, comic readers would know that, but it starts very similarly, to say the least. The only big difference at this point is with Terminus, it was just a bunch of random people, but in this case, it's a bunch of military personnel that the Commonwealth has. So that's the biggest difference up to this point. But obviously, there's gonna be many bigger differences as we go along in this story. And then we have this shot of Princess, again, inside one of the train carts. Now, as you notice, there's cracks on the train carts. So I'm assuming she's gonna look through those to see what's happening outside. And she might even break one of those in order to get out. Hence the name of this episode. Because we do know that Princess is gonna try to escape. She is gonna be successful initially, but then it looks like she's gonna be recaptured at some point by the Commonwealth militia. Then we have this picture of Princess inside the train cart, and it actually looks like in this particular shot, she's looking through the cracks. So that goes with what I just said earlier. And then we have this shot, which again goes back to what I said, she's looking through the crack. Now, what I absolutely love is, again, the imagery and the visual similarity between Princess looking outside and Rick looking outside the train cart back in Season 4, Episode 16. When he was stuck in the train cart by the termites. Now, I don't like the fact that they're doing this with Princess. I mean, there were a lot of better characters to choose to give this to. Not that it matters too much, but still, it would have been better to give it to someone else. For example, Eugene, or maybe even Ezekiel, something like that, because I feel like Princess at this point is still a pretty new character. So to give her this sort of, I would say, iconic Easter egg or parallel scene, I think is a waste, but it could just be me. And then we have this shot of Princess looking up. There's sunlight coming through, so I'm assuming that this connects to something that was in the trailer where we have Ezekiel actually lifting up the board on top of the train cart or something like that, like an opening, and looking down at Princess. And I'm assuming that this is gonna be when Princess escapes. And then we have this shot of Ezekiel inside the train cart, and again, I love the visual similarity and the imagery that they're using here and how it kind of matches what we saw at the end of season 4 episode 16 with the survivors being trapped inside the train cart by the termites. And then we have this interesting shot of Princess being interrogated by one of the members of the Commonwealth militia. The thing that's very interesting is that the Commonwealth soldier that's talking to Princess is actually unmasked. Now, I've done a video on this already, but it's extremely likely that this is not an ordinary Commonwealth soldier. It's very likely that this is a pretty big character from the comic book named Lance Hornsby, who's the Commonwealth bookkeeper. Obviously, they haven't confirmed that, but looking at this guy, he looks a lot like Lance does. And the thing that really gives it away is the hairstyle, because in the comics, Lance has like an identical hairstyle to this guy right here. And then we have this shot of two of the Commonwealth soldiers outside. Now, obviously, this is in the exact same area where they first captured our group. And then we have this shot of Princess. At this point, she's obviously escaped or trying to escape. And then we have this shot of Ezekiel. Now, what's interesting is that he is outside in the middle of the woods. So either this is after they escape, or there's Commonwealth soldiers there and they're walking towards some sort of a location. Then we have this shot of Eugene again with the background. It looks like he's inside some sort of a building. So it's likely that this is also like the previous picture after they are captured, and probably takes place when they're walking to some sort of a location. And that's pretty much it. That's the final picture that they released. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to share and smash the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to join our community and press the bell to be notified when we upload. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.